Hi, everybody. This is Vaughn. Sweet Rocks here. Sweet Rocks Crystal Healing. That's what I do. I create custom pieces and make custom designs for others, and I work with crystals, and I believe they can heal you. So if you're liking what I hear already, go ahead, hit that notification, hit that like and subscribe so you can kind of keep tuned to what I've got going on. If you noticed, I no longer look like Hagrid anymore. I shaved. You can actually see my smile. You can see my teeth. You can see it all. So I figured it was time to kind of start revealing myself a little bit more and just show that I'm not some hippy dippy guy that's like straight up pulling on the mountain man Grizzly Adams look. So I figured I'd start looking a little more professional with this. Mostly because I was looking at some of my old photos when I was a chef, and I was just like, man, I was really a stud back then. What happened to me? Oh, that's right, because I started my spiritual journey and realized the power of hair and how it is a part of us. It's like a spiritual thing. There's memory tied to our hair with everything. And so when I decided to break away from the Roman Catholic belief system, the Roman ideology, the indoctrination that we've all been through, for me, what started it, the long hair, was simply because I was just like, I'm done with that system. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to be part of the controllers anymore. I want to become who I want to be, just like I had stated in my last video on episode 1 of my drive-in talk. But today is just an open chat, not a drive-in talk. I was kind of took a long way home and kind of just keeping my eyes open for any homes that might come in, because I do want to start a homestead on top of my business. So I'm kind of just getting the motion, trying to attract what I want. So I'm out there looking. I'm trying to see what's available. I'm just trying to create ways to fine-tune what I'm trying to manifest into my life. And the power of our manifestation is when we can get really specific with what our intentions are and what we want. That way, because the universe, when it brings stuff to us, it's very unbiased. It kind of just like, if you're putting your thoughts and energy out there, that's what the universe is going to bring too. So if your thoughts and how you speak to yourself, how you interact with others is negative, malicious, like depressing, anxious, stressed, you're only going to attract more of that into your life. Like, that's just how it's going to go. So with that same idea, why not put things out there like I already have it? Like I'm already in abundance. I'm already in this homestead. I'm already feeling it now. So it's like, okay, I'm going to go about. And so I took a long drive home, and I was just in my mind. I was doing this meditation because, well, not really meditation. I was actually engaged in a really awesome conversation with another beautiful soul in this world. And I just decided, I'm going to kind of go just see where the divine's taking me, because the symbology that I was seeing on this drive was incredible. From 9/11 on a fire truck to emergency with a flashing ambulance shortly behind, being 911, which was also made aware to me that 911 is the CC energy, the Christos energy, like that. So anyway, there was just a lot of things. And then the rainbows. I was seeing these glints of rainbows in the clouds that were just like splattered all over the sky. So I was driving out one way, I lost service, and I was on the phone with somebody when that happened. And so I had to turn back around. And when I turned back around and come down that hill, it was just like, I see the ambulance go by, it passed me. So it was like, like it was an emergency, like you emerge and see. And so I look up and I'm looking out, and there's just these rainbows in the clouds everywhere. And the sun was going away from us. And so it was kind of, appearing to go down the horizon. And I'm looking at the rays that are coming off, and through the clouds, there were just rainbows everywhere. And I was just like, this is really weird. So I decided to take a long road, just down roads I've never been. And I managed to guide my way back to my house, not knowing where I was going. But it was because I was on a mission. I was like, I need to get an idea of what I want for when I get there, so that it can be prepared for me on the back end on a whole divine level. Like, I believe that. So I'm putting it to the test. I put it out there that I'm trying to attract a home that's going to fit my needs, fit everything I want, and allow me to kind of get started with my ideas of my living sovereign on my own homestead, that eventually I want to make a community healing center out of, that I can invite people to come out and have awesome experiences to work with me on stuff. I have a vision of really embracing into having a really successful beehive farm, And I've been learning a lot about electric coils and crystals and how you can harness the energies of the ether with these downloads that I've been getting. And I've been seeing them all over the internet now because it's kind of like, oh, it's all coming in as a collective thing. But I have these ideas to make a very successful honey farm so that now I can have a natural sugar that's made for my cheesecakes, because I do want to do my cheesecake business. I want to have a chicken farm in my house because now I'm going to have fresh eggs for my cheesecake business that I'm making free range, unpasteurized. And let me tell you, as a chef, you want that quality. That is all that makes all your cooking amazing, is the quality of the ingredients that you're using when you start it. So because I'm trying to break from that system, I want everything to be raw, natural, real. I can handle it. I can process it. I know what the heck I'm doing. That's my goal. And it was just a fascinating drive. I took directions I never went. I went areas I've never been, and somehow I made it right back to my house. And I had, because when I lived out here, I don't really get out and around. I go to work, I come home. Go to work, come home, and I don't go out and really explore much because I'm just so busy with everything. It's just incredible. It's a lot of fun, but I don't get to explore like I used to. And I do know that the next year I'm going to make more of an effort to start doing some rock hounding adventures. And I'll start logging it, just like what we're finding, getting out there in nature and just kind of like looking for crystals. Because again, I believe what I do, but how cool would it be to just be like, yeah, I found all these crystals. And because I can feel the crystals, it's like now I can like really get connected with nature to try to heal people with stuff that I have actually found. Not brought in from Indonesian markets, none of that stuff. It's like I found it in my hometown. This isn't my hometown, but I found it in my home spot, my encampment, whatever you want to call it. And from start to finish, it was all my creation. So I have a lot of ideas with how I want to go with my business, but ultimately they're going to come out looking like something like this. So again, you can check out my website. It's down below. My website is sweetrockshandcraftedjewelry.com. And there in my store, you can find everything I ever create. And also the rest of my socials are tied there. So you can see my Instagram, which is like my portfolio. You can see my Facebook, which is kind of my portfolio too. Whichever you prefer. I kind of keep both of them about the same. I prefer my Instagram because it's easier to kind of see a gridded view of, here's my portfolio, this is what I do. And a lot of times I just do custom works for people. Speaking of which, I should probably get up to date on all the other things that I'm working on. I've just been so busy. I got pictures, I just haven't posted them. But today has just been a really interesting day. I had another thing come up to me in the universe. Like I've mentioned before, as we're ascending into our fifth dimension, the universe is going to bring up our past. And basically what that means is that it's going to bring up our shadows, it's going to bring up our traumas, it's going to bring up the things in our life that have been prohibiting us from growing, and it's going to put it right in front of our face. And it's going to say, hey, do you want this in your life now? Do you want that here in your life? Well, let's get real with it, okay? For me, in this particular situation, it does involve the custody situation with my youngest. I'm a single dad. I work hard. I really do. It's a hard plate that I'm on, that I have to work a full-time job that does not fit my needs, doesn't pay my bills all the way, and I'm trying to build my business because I believe in what I do, and I'm just going to do it. I don't care how hard this gets, I'm going to do it because I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I'm sure you all can feel the same way I am. I'm like your average American. I really am. I was part of the system, but I realize that system is failing me. So I need to take accountability for my actions and provide for myself the way that I need to. And so that's kind of where I'm at in my journey. So, but what came to me with my ex it just reminded me the deception and the manipulation that I came from. The person that I love so dearly with all my heart betrayed. It brought back a lot of those emotions. And when she confronted me about some things, it left me really, 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 really triggered, and almost took me out of character again. And in my way, the way that I'm seeing this is that the universe was saying, have you healed yet? I know I'm triggered by her because I I want my daughter with me full time. Like, I love spending time with my little girl. She's my little buddy. Like, she sits to my hip all day. She wants to do everything I'm doing. Like, I love her so much. And that's why it's kind of hard for me, because I know that she misses me when she's away, and it's when I'm away for 2 weeks, like it really does kill me. And I'm glad that I can be busy with something else to kind of, take my mind off that anxiety of separation. But it kills me to have to work. It kills me that I can't see her for half the month. It kills me that I don't get to engage. And it tears me apart that I can't, the things that I desire don't line up. It's very hard. Like, it's hard to be a single parent. I don't know how else to tell this, but it's freaking hard. And that's why I'm doing something about it, because I'm tired of struggling. I'm tired of not being able to commit 100% time as much as my little one needs. And that's kind of why I wanted to focus on my business, because my business can be done anywhere. I could get an RV, I could take my business with me, and I can put myself in front of people to really boost my business. I could travel the country. There's so many ways and avenues. I can get myself into the Tucson Rock Show that happens out there in Arizona, the biggest one in the country. I could get myself in there, and I can guarantee you I would probably make my year's salary in just that weekend. Like, that's what I want to do. So I need to be able to provide a way for me to get there and get in front of people, so I can be abundantly living, so I can continue doing good works for others. Like, there's so many ways that happen. And today I was talking to a really sweet friend of mine. I adore her to death. She's just an incredibly amazing person, and I'm so grateful that I was able to get to meet her, because we are so like-minded in so many ways. And we were talking about some of our goals, which we share the same ideas with a homesteading idea. And it's interesting how our ambitions with our spiritual self and embracing our creative aspect and living sovereign aligned really, really amazingly together. But in the process of us talking about hypotheticals and what ifs and kind of just like mowing it over for entertainment, just kind of like, oh yeah, like I like the idea of this honey farm, and she wants to do a cat refuge, and we were just kind of tossing ideas around that are really fun and entertaining and exciting. And it just got my wheels turning. Well, while we're in the middle of this conversation, I'm at work. And I'm talking on the phone, like, luckily no one's bugging me. The universe aligned me right to have this. And as I'm sitting there just talking about something very powerful that I was very passionate about, again, I'm in the middle of an indoor shop. It's massive. I mean, this factory I work in building tractor equipment is huge. Like, if you were to walk from one end to the next, it's easily a quarter-mile distance to go from one end to the next in just the one factory. It's amazingly huge. And that's where I work at. We build huge, giant farming equipment. That's what I do for my job, and that's why my body feels broken and beat down, because it's a heavy lifting job day in and day out. I can't do it anymore. I'm tired of working this hard. My body is the more I do it, the more I feel it. My body's telling me to get out, because it hurts. Like, my shoulder today just was on fire. I haven't had a shoulder pain like that since I was playing baseball, and that was on my left shoulder. This one's my right that's doing it, so I'm just like, I need to get out. Well, in the middle of all this, a praying mantis flies into the shop and lands right in front of my feet. And in the conversation I was having at precisely that moment, we were literally discussing synchronicities in our life. And this praying mantis just shows up. Not just any color praying mantis, a chartreuse green praying mantis shows up. And again, my aura color, my colors, it's green, chartreuse. Like, I love those colors. Those are my favorite. And I was like, that's not just a mere coincidence. This praying mantis didn't just show up out of a whim, blew in here. Like, I haven't seen a praying mantis all year. Like, I'm just going to be honest with you. I haven't seen a praying mantis. And yet, in this moment of having an awakening conversation of new awarenesses about things, like, I was super excited in the conversation I had. I was so thrilled about what we were unfolding as we were conversing together. And then this praying mantis shows up, and I literally, conversation stopped right at his tracks. Stopped. And I was just like, that's a praying mantis. I was like, I know in Chinese lore the symbolism of praying mantis is pretty powerful. And I was like, this is amazing. So I go down, I reach up, I pick it up, and it's, it's about, yay big, really tiny guy. He didn't want to be picked up at first, but he didn't move. So I just kind of cussed him a little bit. And I was like, listen, buddy, you need to go outside because in here, someone's going to kill you. So I take him outside. We go outside and I open my hand and I'm looking at him and he's just staring at me, just looking at me. And I'm like, okay. In my mind, because I'm already thinking this might be some real divination here. This is a real sign, a real symbol, real tangible evidence that there's something in the divine that's at its works right now. And so I asked this praying mantis right in his eyes, and I said, are you a divine spirit trying to communicate with me? And this praying mantis looks at me and goes, nods his head forward. And I was just like, no way. I was like, did you just respond? Like, I'm like, holy crap. You nodded you confirmed, like you heard me, like Pikachu in Detective Pikachu movie. He's like, you just heard me. Like, that's what I had. And I was like, okay. I was like, so I'm not convinced. And I said, if that is real, you're divine. I put my finger here and I said, shake my finger. And he takes his little claw and he touches it and then he pulls back, and I was just like, no way. And I was just like tripping out. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And then he flies off he goes on his way. And I was just like, this was no thing. So when I get home from a long drive looking at houses again, because I'm trying to attract something. I need a house with a yard that I can build stuff so I can get going on all these things for my homesteading operation, because I have all these ideas that I want to put together, because my end goal, once I find my forever place and I'm in a lot there and I have exactly what I need and I'm building this place, I want to create a community healing center. Like, I want to create a way for the community to come in and learn things about how to garden, about how to raise chickens, about how to do honey, about how to do anything. I want to encompass all of that in this. Basically, my idea is just having this retreat. I want to have this retreat that people can camp out and have a great experience of like-minded people, that we could meet together and do actual healing seminars, get some quantum healers in there and do these collective things, do collective prayers, do something to engage the community in achieving our sovereignty. I want to give all this knowledge to the world of all the things I've been learning over the years. I just want to give it all back free. And the only way I can do this is I need to provide a place for that to happen. And so that's my vision. I don't know how this is going to come. I'm just trusting in the divine. But I'm telling you right now, this praying mantis sign, when I started looking into the symbolism of it, I haven't seen a clearer sign about my journey ever. So I'm going to start here. It's right in Google under the AI overview. Super easy to summarize. But I assure you, I've already read the links that it's attached to. So it's like I've already been looking into it. So just for this video's intents purpose, I'm going to read right off the AI overview on Google. So it says, the praying mantis... Hold on. I need a drink. Copper bottle, by the way. You want a good water bottle? Get yourself a copper bottle. It's super antimicrobial. It neutralizes the minerals in your water like fluoride. It also alkalizes your water, so if you have slightly acidic water, it'll bring it back to neutral pH, so 7 pH. And it's super good for you. Like the copper, I don't care what the scientists tell me. I've been drinking copper and only from copper forever, and I have had zero adverse health effects ever. As a matter of fact, my health has been improving because I've been adding copper water to my diet. But the cool thing about copper is that it can help conduct electricity. So when I'm shaking my bottle, I'm charging it up. This copper bottle is amplifying. So let me get a drink real quick. Sorry, I've been talking a lot today, so my voice is like dead. It's hard to believe because I talk so much. I got lots of practice. But at the beginning of the overview, it says, the praying mantis symbolizes stillness, patience, and meditation. Due to its prayer-like posture, it also represents prayer and piety, especially in Christian traditions, which I don't know if I believe that because I did not hear anything about praying mantis in the Mormon religion. But it says in Christian traditions where it's seen as a sign of God's presence. Now, I do agree with that. I did confirm with this praying mantis that that was a sign of a divine presence. Culturally, it signifies as military strength and courage in the East Asia, wisdom and divination in paganism, and associated with wealth in the cycle of life in Native American lore. And I identify really, like, it resonates really deeply with me when I start getting into Native American lore about things, which is how the dreadlock journey started. Like, this is my journey, super long hair now. I absolutely love it, but it's been a part of my journey. But the Native Americans, just a side note here, the Native Americans prized their hair because they understood that it was antenna to the divine beings, and they understood the power of it, and that's why it was a complete insult for them to be scalped as our history like to write it. But it was a mockery of them and their spirituality. That's why all of this has happened. I found this out on my own terms. Mainstream history will not tell you that, but that's really what it was. So I'll leave it at that. But what was interesting is I had to go and look, because I hadn't really looked into the symbolism of the praying mantis in Native American lore, and this was just this incident was just too divine. I can't not talk about it. But it says Native American traditions saw the mantis as a symbol of wealth, success, and the cycle of life, with some believing it appeared before the creation of the world. So I try not to look into things like read between the lines kind of thing. But as I'm reading this, I'm getting this impression. It says, saw the mantis as a symbol of wealth. What I'm doing is attracting that to me. Success. So the man saw the mantis as a symbol of success. I was afraid to put myself out here like this. I was terrified. And my business I tried years ago when I was in a relationship, and it just didn't work then. And I almost gave up. I almost gave up all of it. Just screw it. It's not going to work for me. Until now, all of a sudden I'm like, no, I really need to do this. Like, it really came to me 2 years later of suffering and struggling and getting over heartbreak and learning how to trust people again. Like, I'm a single parent, and it's hard for me, but I moved out here to Idaho with $300 in my pocket, and I had nowhere to go. I had whatever fit in the back of my 64 Chevy. Her name was Darla, but my 64 Chevy that didn't run very well, like it was drivable, but it's a vintage truck. It was all original. It looked beautiful, but, I couldn't drive it from Utah to Idaho, so I had to tow my truck that carried what I could fit in the back of it to Idaho. So I could start over with $300 in my cash. And I got lucky because I sold some jewelry to get that money, and it just worked out that this fate befell me where I got kicked to the curb and totally betrayed, totally lied to, totally manipulated, totally abused. Like, the list goes on. And if you want to get on that topic there, you don't hear guys talking about the abuse that can happen to them in a toxic relationship. We don't really hear those stories. You do, however, hear how women undergo that, and I don't like those kind of men. I'm not one of those. I certainly don't identify as that, and I certainly would never wish my experience that I had. I certainly would never wish this on anybody. So, the Native American tradition saw the mantis as a symbol of success, and when I stepped into my powers this year, this was an omen for me. And then it says, a symbol of and the cycle of life. And the way that it resonated with me is that I am emerging from an old way, and I'm literally on the verge of a seed going poop, out comes the bud, the little tiny sprout that starts. Like, I'm on the verge of that seed just going pew, or like an orchid first opening. It's like under tight, and all of a sudden, boom, the most beautiful flower. That's how I'm saying. So the cycle of life. So I went through a traumatic experience. I had a great spiritual ascension. I am revisiting things to heal through the process. And now I'm getting back to the success again. And this has been a pattern through my life. When I was a chef, I quit being a mechanic because it was breaking my body. I couldn't do it. So I changed careers. So end of cycle. And then I build a cycle again as a chef, and then the pandemic happens, and then boom, I lose my job as a chef, and At this point, I don't want to start over because I'm already beat and worn out from being a chef. So I kind of gave up on it. And so what I do, cycle ends. I start over. At the time, I met my fiance. We were growing and building something great. Fox, what are you chewing on? I'm doing a live video. Sorry, my husky acts like my 4-year-old, and he is destroying my 4-year-old's toy. Weirdo. Anyway, so I'm in the cycle of life, and here I am in this life. Now I've got a woman that I care about, that I wanted to build a life together, that I wanted to do all these great things together. I wanted to bring our family together, and we had the most beautiful child as a result of all of this. And then that cycle ended. And now I go through struggle again. I'm starting over again. I'm going through this cycle again. And here I am starting over in Idaho. And I literally hit a point where my job doesn't serve me anymore. And that's the end of that cycle. I'm done working for the system. And now here I am at another beginning in the cycle of life. So see how the cycle I'm talking about, the Native American traditions saw the mantis as a symbol of the cycle of life. So every time that I have grown and ascended and become stronger and brighter and bolder, I had to go through an entire immersive experience of suffering. Suffering. You see what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to suffer anymore. So I'm focusing my efforts now to do this in overflow. And what does overflow mean? Overflow quite literally means you have enough energy, you got enough funds, you got enough assets to provide for yourself. Anything that's extra can now be put forth to generate energy elsewhere. So because I'm driven and I'm passionate about this, physically my body's beat down, so I cannot craft every day. So I work in overflow, meaning I need a couple days to recover. I need to stop and take breaks periodically while I'm crafting. I'm doing all of these things differently than how I have done it all of these lives. I take my time, and I'm going to build my business just like that. There's no rush. Realistically, I don't like keeping clocks in my home. The only reason why I really have a clock, and that's on my phone, that's the only one that's really accurate. The only reason why I have clocks in my home is so I can see the divine codes. But my clocks are never accurate. I just don't care. The only one that keeps me on time, the construct that keeps you trapped, is my black mirror. And my black mirror is quite literally my screen, my phone. That's what I call it, my black mirror. So that's the only thing that allows me to keep time in my life. And so oftentimes I'm running late. Well, it's perceived I'm running late. I feel like I'm right on time, but different perspectives, I guess. I showed up right when I needed to. I got here safe. Like, that's my perspective. And so that's kind of just how I see it. So in the last part of this, with some believing, in Buddhism, because again, that's another one that I've really been looking into, learning the Buddha belly, what that all means. That's like literally when you're breathing, breathe through your gut, activate that sacral chakra, activate the heart, activate your lymph nodes. Like, you got really chronic illnesses and stuff. I'm learning about this. I didn't know. It's all recent. My dear, lovely, sweet, beautiful friend was just like, you need to look into that. And I was just like, I never even knew that was a thing. And so here I am, learning about lymph nodes, and all of this is lining up, and I just started doing these practices recently, and I'm already noticing differences. It's amazing. So in Buddhism, it portrays the mantis as a symbol of patience and perseverance. Now, did I not just explain that? I'm going to be running my business from overflow. This is wild. And now, again, at the beginning, I said the Chinese have a thing for martial arts and the praying mantis. They have an entire type of fighting style that's called the praying mantis. So here we go. Chinese Kung Fu. The mantis's martial arts-like movements inspired the style of Chinese Kung Fu known as praying mantis Kung Fu. Just absolutely amazing. Just what I've been finding. Ancient Greece believed the mantis was an oracle that could predict the future. A couple other things I wanted to point out. Wisdom and prophecy. Okay, the Greek word for praying mantis means mantis, translates to prophet or seer, seer, leading to belief in its ability to foretell the future. What? Okay. In China and Japan, the mantis is a symbol of military strength and bravery because it moves forward and never retreats. Nowhere in my life have I ever just given up. And let me tell you, in my experiences, which as you continue to plug into my channel, which by the way, hit that notification, hit that subscribe, hit that like. But in my life has not been easy, and my resilience has been the main ingredient to me prevailing. Anyway, I just want to leave those thoughts with you. I thought it was incredible, the symbolism of the praying mantis and how it literally manifests itself. And I wasn't sure that I was seeing what I was seeing. Like, I'm just like, nah, that's just coincidental. You know, like my mind is like, I try to be realistic a lot of times because I can get really metaphysical about things. But I'm telling you, when I asked it, I think, are you a divine soul? Are you a divine being trying to communicate with me? And it nodded its head yes. Man, that's not an omen of good fortune and good success. I don't know what is, because I have never seen a synchronicity with a live animal like that ever. And of all animals, a praying mantis, one I hardly see ever. Like, I haven't even seen one this year. Like, seriously, it's amazing. So, guys, keep an eye on these weird signs that come your way. Everyone's getting them. Some of us just aren't seeing it. Like, that's just the reality of it. Some of us just are too asleep to see the signs that the divine's going. The matrix is breaking. The old system and the old world is crumbling. It's falling apart. And I'm going to be a part of that rebuilding. And I'm going to bring as many people along the way as I can. So enjoy my talk today. It's not a drive-in talk. It's just it's a very philosophical conversation because I needed to do some research about the praying mantis so I could present this to you, because since it's fresh in my mind, I just needed to share that with the world, because the signs are out there. Like, they're everywhere. I don't know how else to explain it. Number sequences, weird number sequences. When you're constantly seeing 1111, that is a common one. So many people are seeing. Like, that's the most obvious giveaway. If you look at a clock or look at a series of numbers or a license plate or a sequence on a sign, and you're seeing 11 or 111, which is a divine angel number, or 1111, which is a very common one. People see that they're right on the right path, they're on the right journey. Pay attention, take a minute to listen to your intuition, kind of go with your gut feeling. Like, all of those things tie to these numbers. Pay attention. It's out there. The divines are connecting with you in a very, very subtle way. I just have never had a divine connection like this before. This was like the solidifying contract to my duty and my mission here on this earth, to pursue my dreams and my goals, because I have a clear vision where I want to be. I have a clear vision of what I want to do. And the reason why I'm blogging this with you guys, I'm a single parent. I work a lot. I have worked many 60-hour weeks and juggling 2 kids. And I'm very fortunate. My mother and my biological dad has been able to help me part of the way through it. I'm very grateful that my oldest is old enough now, she's 16, to help me with that too. But I couldn't have ever done it alone. There was no way, absolutely no way. I needed help. And I am eternally grateful that I've had the support that I needed when I didn't think it was possible. I am very grateful, and I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm going after, and I want to bring you all along with me, because my experiences are just, I've ran out of words to say about my experiences right now. Just incredible, completely wonderful. And because I'm aligned with something higher than myself, I'm aligned with the great divine. I feel like my life right now is like Christ when he went on his pilgrimage of trying to shed light in the world after he went around the world, learning from all the masters, learning all the ways of how ancient people used to do things. And so I just, I'm just telling you, I know now what it means to do this pilgrimage of sharing light and sharing wisdom and healing others. And that's what I'm going to do. I love you guys so very much. I'm so grateful that you're a part of this. Like, it's just amazing. So keep an eye out, guys. Like, the divine is trying to communicate with you. They want us to ascend. They want to reveal themselves to us. They want to come here and give us the technology that we need so that we can have our health back, so we can have our minds back, so that we can actually do the things that we enjoy doing and love, so that we can all have enough food, so we can all have a home of our own without living on top of each other. Like, one of the greatest lies I think they tell us is that the world's overpopulated. But I live out here in the middle of Idaho. I can drive in any direction, doesn't matter which way, and for miles there are areas of land that are completely habitable and no one's building on it. And they want to tell us that the world, there's not enough to live. This is just Idaho. This is just the small little tiny corner of southeastern Idaho. Like, I'm 100 miles north of Utah. Like, I'm not far into Idaho. And right there, for miles and miles and miles, for that 100 miles, I go through a few little towns, populations less than 5,000. Probably, well, yeah, definitely less than 5,000. Probably closer to lesser, 1,200. Some of these towns, really, really small towns. Pocatello is like the first kind of big one, but that's because there's an actual campus there. The ISU is right here in Pocatello. And then you go into Blackfoot, kind of a small town, really growing, but it's more like a local farm town / retirement community. And then you go another hour drive north and you get into Idaho Falls, where I consider that more of a city. But from my drive from Pocatello to Idaho Falls takes me an hour, and I cover 60, 70 miles, and I hardly see any homes. And that's just on the freeway. That's not even on the outskirts. The second you get on the old farm roads and head out west, for miles and miles and miles and miles, nothing. Absolutely nothing. And all of it is perfectly habitable. You can get something started there. And so I think it's a lie. We're not overpopulated, and you are powerful. You are divine beings. You are special. Get out of that grid. Get out of that system. Let's work together to build something together that we can all benefit from. That not a single person is going to be capitalizing and monopolizing and controlling and taxing us. We can do it. Let's just do it. We can unite. We can join forces. So that's my message for you guys tonight. I've had a roller coaster of emotions today, and now that I've done this research on the praying mantis and what it meant to me right there at that time, I will never forget this day. The fact that I talked to a praying mantis and it confirmed what I said. That was the most wonderful experience. So I love you guys. Don't forget to hit that notification button there. Definitely hit the subscribe button. Hit a like there. Help me boost this, because like I said, I am doing my part to help heal this world. And I know that it's too much for just me to do. So I am looking for people to unite together so that we can do this together. Because I truly believe that we have the power. Not them. We do. It lies in us. God said in the Bible, the kingdom of heaven is in us. God is in us. We are God's. Christ also said that we can do what he can do and more. Pretty simple. He was very clear. We are powerful beings. Anyway, have a good night, guys. I love you. Tune in for next time for next one of my blogs. And we'll talk to you later. Have a good night. Bye.